So let's go to the apology first. Work our way back to what he said initially, okay? Let's do that. Yes? Okay. David Oyelowo has issued a full public apology after facing intense backlash for his remarks he made about black Southern American accents. This man played Bass Reeves. And he played a red tail. Okay. He said in a statement posted to his official IG, let's see. He said, I want to apologize unreservedly to all those who were rightly offended by my comments on the 154 Africa podcast regarding Southern accents. It was the wrong thing to say, and it is not how I feel. What you sorry for? Yeah, it's how you feel. I have nothing but deep respect and great love for black people of all kinds, especially those from the American South. The actor's original remarks drew swift condemnation from cultural commentators, linguists, and social media users who argued that he had reduced a rich, resilient linguistic tradition to nothing more than a product of oppression, ignoring the creativity and agency of generations of black Southerners. Yeah, man, my daddy from Mississippi, man, that shit not cool. All I truly care about is lifting my black brothers and sisters. Here we go, the bullshit. No. From all places, through my work and my words, please forgive my failure to do so in that instance. No, sir. The apology has been met with a mix of acceptance and calls for deeper reflection, with many noting the importance of accurately honoring the complexity of black linguistic heritage. This man played MLK. He played Bass Reeves, all of our fucking heroes. You got to be fucking kidding me, man. Take a look at this man's wife. Guess what color his wife is? Take a wild guess at this man's wife. Yeah. Let's see. Are you surprised? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, let's go and get to what he said, y'all. Let's get to what he said. Nope. This is what he said. Now, if you're not offended, I think you should be, especially if your folks are from the South, or especially if you live from you're in the South. Okay, come on. Listen to how he just reduces it down to like a seasoning.
Godfrey, hey, how are you today? Go and get my cane. Go and get my cane. I remember that.
Yeah, Drewski was right.
Imagine you have to go and get the cane for yourself.
Oh, yeah. But go and get my cane.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah, this is where I completely will never respect or trust Godfrey. I've always had reservations about him, but this pretty much cemented how I feel about him.
Will be flogged.
Yeah.
American.
Father? Or just American?
No, American. This is an American accent.
I try and be...
Okay, American accent is what they asked him. Now he goes on this long-ass diatribe about how he breaks down and how he processes an American accent to him. Pay attention.
Accent.
I try and be Godfrey?
Uh-oh. Get on back now.
What are you saying now? I don't know.
How do I sound?
I don't know. How do you sound, Godfrey? Why are we doing this?
This is already starting up. Why are we doing it? Okay, we get it. Okay, come on. But listen to how he just breaks the shit down.
How about Southerner?
How about what?
A Southerner.
Well, if I'm being a Southerner, well, you know what? You know what happens to Southerners? If you take the Nigerian accent like this, and you slow it down, you put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is
what? You put some slavery and some subservience in it. Nigga, these are not flavors. Wow. Come on.
Starts to happen
to
the Nigerian accent.
Man.
It goes, because literally, If you're down here and you start to speed it up, and then you start to take all the thing out of it, then before you know it, you're talking like this.
Now we are free again.
Now we are free. We are released.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, we owe Lord Jamar an apology. Yeah. So let's go find it. Where is it? No, let me get out of that. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Damn it. Okay, I got the clip set up. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Is it Twitter? Okay. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. You ready? Okay, let's go.
I come to America and I was looking for community. And to be perfectly honest, I met a lot of African-American actors who, as I started to gain a bit of success, I could tell they felt threatened by my presence, by what I was being afforded that they felt they should be being afforded.
To them. Oh, man.
And I was terrified because I had just now been afforded the opportunity to play Oprah Winfrey and Forrest Whitaker's son in The Butler. It was a very juicy role.
Yeah.
And I stood there, Cuba Gooding's over there, Terrence Howard's over there, like all these actors. And I was just like, oh boy, am I gonna be okay? She saw me in the corner, came up to me and said, hi, I'm Oprah. I was like, yeah, I know. And she said, are you okay? I said, well, I'm a bit nervous about this film. And I told her what I just told you. And she went, I experienced exactly the same thing coming up in journalism. I experienced a lot of pushback from other Black female journalists who were threatened by any kind of success they saw me attaining. And they would say to me, to my face, you're too fat and you're too ugly to be successful in this arena. Who do you think you are?
Wow.
She was dealing with that. And then she crossed paths with Sidney Poitier and Quincy Jones. And I think it was Sidney Poitier primarily, but Quincy Jones as well, who talked about, and Sidney Poitier primarily, talked about what he had coming from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And you know, again, actors being threatened by any kind of success he was being afforded, and how you just got to plow through that and do your thing. And so she was mentored and protected and advised by him, and she could see I was dealing with the same thing. And she has remained true to that from that day on. That is my go-to for advice. That is my go-to for...
Great. And
yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Just something, this just clicked in me.
Yeah.
You've done the same thing. Because
I've tried to.
You more than tried to, because after we first met, you invited me to your home.
Right.
And you brought together a collection of just all of us hanging out, all the different actors. You know, it was just a community of Black actors and entertainers from different fields and walks of life. And we're just breaking bread. We had prayers in the house, and we had a moment just to kind of talk about whatever we wanted to talk about. And it was such a powerful moment because there's no ego. There was no, I mean, we're talking about notable names within the industry.
Listen, just like we do with them over there, we're just here to observe and report. Come on.
And I'm having this full circle moment, that moment when Oprah approached you, you've now passed that same gift on to others, like bringing people together. So there isn't that, because now from that very moment that you invited us all, I now see some of the same brothers, and when I see them, oh yeah, what's up, what's up? And it was from your house that started, where it's connected, where we can, you know, have access and community, because sometimes we're so separate. We see each other from afar, but we don't know how to come within, and how, unless we cross paths, or sometimes we're all competing in our different ways. And what you did that night, that day, was so powerful. And I now kind of feel like I understand where some of that comes from.
Well, we started this conversation talking about Yoruba and Igbo and that fissure, that conflict.
Okay, I'm gonna speed up to where he gets to. Is anything more about Black American actors? No. Look at this. The fact that you two never give pushback to anyone on anything makes it look like you just agreed to general anti-Blackness. It's hard to hold an imaginary line when everything in this country is constantly up for sale. Okay. Okay.
I'm a product of a Yoruba man and an Igbo woman coming together, and they didn't bring me up with all of that trauma and dysfunction and hatred. They brought me up in love. And this narrative around the silos that we inhabit as Black people, these Black British actors coming to take our roles, these, how African Americans feel like that. In the UK, a lot of the kids who bullied me were West Indian kids. So there was a West Indian, West African thing. And everything, in my opinion, that has kept Black people back from the ascent that we are worthy of has been this: Hutus, Tutsis, Igbos, Yorubas,
Rwanda,
Black Brits, African Americans. Ultimately, for me, we all want the same thing.
Period.
We all want to be front and center of our own lives, afforded the opportunity to scale and not fail.
Ooh, right on.
And if we link arms like Jewish people do,
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. It's not
Chinese
gonna work.
people do.
Hell yeah.
Like if we do that, rather than fixating on the fact that, yeah, we have a smaller piece of the pie, we do. And as a result, when a Black Brit gets that role, what we're talking about is not acting. We're not talking about the art of acting. We're talking about scarcity. We're talking about the fact that there's not much pie. So when someone gets it, it's like, you're now taking a piece that makes me feel like I can't access that piece.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that with...
Okay. Outside of Forrest Whitaker playing Idi Amin, I don't have any real history or a list of Black American actors playing non-Black American heroes. I don't. I can list all the Brits that played all the significant roles here. We got Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet. This man played MLK. I mean, come on, like seriously? But okay.
White British actors in the Hollywood constellation because the pie is vast.
So do you think like when Juski goes out there and he does that whole skit that's gone viral? It's funny.
Yeah.
Where he's the British guy, he goes out there. And does that kind of add fuel to the fire? Because I mean, it's a thing. You're starting to hear more and more of it.
Yeah.
And it's why we started 154. Like, it's to bring all of it. It's one continent, 54 countries, but really it's bigger. It's one diaspora that's centered around who we are as people.
No. I don't see it that way, y'all. Now, you can color me ignorant. But I don't see it that way. No, I don't.
But yet there's these micro fractures of, but they're from the UK or they're from, they're immigrants from Africa.
Yeah. My thing is, I have adopted the stance of I have to let my work do the talking. There's many things in the world that I don't like, that I don't agree with, but my answer to that,
to the Drewski
thing, is to start a streaming platform with an African American like Nate Parker, and for us to build something from a global perspective that is for African Americans, it's for South Americans, it's for Black people in the diaspora, it's for people on the continent, it's for all of us.
That look like
As we call it a tent, we call it an umbrella, we call it a table that we're inviting everyone to. The best things that I've done with my career have been collaborations between me. For instance, I brought Ava onto Selma. People say, why did she cast him? I fought for her to be in that movie, to direct that movie, and then Oprah fought for both of us to get that movie made. When we did Bass Reeves, because the narrative around, are Black Brits better trained or whatever?
Yeah.
When we were doing Bass Reeves, there were names that they wanted to have in that show.
Yeah.
But and I'm not going to take all the credit for this, but I fought hard for this. Yeah. Lauren E. Banks, who plays my wife, Yale. Grantham Coleman, Juilliard. Joaquina Calacango, Juilliard. When we were doing that show, I wanted to create a show where you have the best of us that haven't yet populated the pipeline.
But you are the pipe. You've populated the pipeline. So you mean to tell me no one could have played Bass Reeves better than, who else played Bass Reeves that y'all may have forgotten? Now I guess he is technically a Tether, right? Right, but he's more identified with Black Americans than anybody else. But yeah, Delroy Lindo played he played Bass Reeves a long time ago. He played it twice, I believe. He played it twice. He played in The Harder They Fall, and then he played many years ago. Many years ago.
He was a free man at this time, and he became a farmer.
Yeah, The Harder They Fall, he played Bass Reeves. But he also played him years ago that I can't remember. Okay. And like and to be fair, I liked the Bass Reeves show. It was on Paramount, I believe. And he was good, but you mean to tell me they couldn't find anybody to play Bass Reeves besides David? Anybody? No Black Americans. None. Okay.
Who, like Demi Singleton. Lonnie Chavis played the lead in the film I directed, The Waterman. You know, he was in This Is Us, and then I put him center of my movie. African American, Demi Singleton, African American. When we were doing Selma, I saw Lakeith Stanfield in a small film called Short.
Yeah, he played one of the pilots in Red Tails. Like, so this is what I've learned. It's like the Chitlin circuit for them, okay? They will come here and play our heroes as like it's their version of the Chitlin circuit, and then when they get the seal of approval and the stamp, and black folk are like, oh, okay, and they move on and they leave the Chitlin circuit never to return. So these black roles, you know, that they keep gobbling up, it's just the Chitlin circuit for them. This man was in Cloverfield Paradox. What are we talking about, man? Okay? Like, he's moved away from Chiwetel is on next level shit. Like, what are we talking about, man? They don't come back to these type of roles or do these little indie films anymore. They go and do the other shit with the other people, the mainstream stuff. But okay, let's continue. And to be fair, yeah, they do. White folk complain. Yes, they do. You're just not in those spaces to hear them. Trust me, they complain. Oh, the white folk do be complaining. Yes, they do. Believe me on that one.
Term 12. I went to Ava and said, this guy.
Yeah, Lakeith.
That was Lakeith's big film after Selma was, after Short Term 12. I saw Stephan James in a trailer for some football movie when I was in the movies. I went, that guy. For John Lewis. That's who we need for John Lewis. Tessa Thompson came and auditioned to play Coretta as Scott King, which Carmen Ejogo ended up playing. But Ava and I went, whoa.
Including everybody.
You know, we brought her in for Diane Nash. That's what happens when you collaborate rather than be focused on separation.
Right.
And so I think it's funny, that skit. Do I think it's helpful? I don't think it's helpful. But my answer to it is to continue to collaborate. Is to continue to demonstrate that actually, and it sounds corny, but we are way better and way more powerful together than we are apart. And I truly think so much of that mindset is born out of insecurity. You never see them coming after a Brit playing that kind of role when it's a failure. It's only when it's a success. If there's box office and if there's awards.
Okay, so we're gonna act like the Harriet Tubman movie was a success, and people still dragged her for what she said after she played the role. Come on, let's not do this. These are very disingenuous responses and excuses. Yes, they've been doing it for a long time, but now the conversation has grown legs. The conversation now has grown legs. And now people are starting to see it for what it is. Don't get mad at people because they came to the party late. You're just happy they showed up. So now people are starting to see what the play is. Yes, I believe most people want to see themselves on the screen. I don't want to see, guys my daddy knew played by a Brit. I just don't. Sorry. What did Harriet do? Box office. This movie made $43 million worldwide, and we still drag her for this. So that excuse is out the window. We still drag Cynthia for this. And it was a horrible movie. And she was trash. Her accent kept breaking every third line, her accent would come out. Come on, man, don't stop playing with us, man. That shit was trash, and and motherfuckers been saying it.
So then is the time where you go, I want a piece of that. Well, let's collaborate. So that's why I get everyone to the house.
Yeah.
Where we have those conversations. Andre Holland, brilliant actor, trained. Coleman Domingo, brilliant. I've seen that dude on stage. The success he's being afforded is absolutely warranted. It's the work. And these are my friends. These are the people I am constantly in collaboration with. African-American, Black Brits. Now I'm really focused on Nigeria. Like this film we just took to Cannes, Clarissa.
Yes. Clarissa, yes.
Clarissa is like Sophie Okonedo, Ayo Edebiri, who's grown up here, Tohib Jimo, Jude Akwadike, Danny Sapani, who's Ghanaian, the amazing girl from Queen Charlotte. You know, like we are from all over the place. It was the first time we were all in Nigeria together doing a film. Like Nikki Amuka Bird, who hadn't gone back since she was 5.
Is that when you were out in December?
Yeah, that's why I was in Nigeria. We were shooting Clarissa. Just took it to Cannes. 800 people.
Big.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing response. You know, two twin brothers, Nigerian brothers who directed that film. All the money raised in Nigeria. It's now being distributed by Neon. That's what happens.
That's right.
When we collaborate
together.
When we collaborate. So I don't subscribe. Like I say, what Drewski did was funny, but it's, to me, it's not true. It's not my lived experience.
Okay. Because it's not his lived experience. To him, it's not true. But outside of your lived experience, okay. So he doesn't see it that way. There's nothing to talk to him about. Okay. There's nothing to talk to him about. Because and his lived experience is not true. So ain't nothing else to talk about. Okay.
Yeah.
My lived experience is doing 3 films back to back with Coleman Domingo, is doing Lincoln with him, is doing The Butler with him, and then doing Selma with him. Yeah. And learning from him. You know, is working with Andre Holland. Andre and I sitting down in a restaurant and he's going through what he's going through. And we are sharing tricks. How did you get your stuff made? And I'm sharing that with him. I'm now seeing him producing stuff. And that's the collaboration of a guy who was born in the UK of Nigerian descent now with this guy who's from Alabama. And like that's our what unity. Success. Yeah. That's where everyone gets to eat.
Yeah. It's man, because we're so damaged from African Americans, because us growing up in America, to Africans, to Caribbeans, just colonialism. It's the supremacy, man.
Yes.
That has trickled down and ruined us from colorism.
Yes.
To hair grade.
So is the argument valid or not? So I guess is the argument being had, is it valid or not? Is it not a valid argument? I don't think I've heard one Black Brit agree that it's a valid argument. But okay.
The design.
It's designed because we're all we got.
Yeah.
And Dr. Henry.
I'm so over it, fucking Godfrey. Ugh, he's so just, I can't.
Henry Clark, the elder who I studied in college, I was very militant in college, but he said, we don't have any friends.
Right.
And it's facts, we don't have them.
Right.
So, and even when I would go see Minister Farrakhan, and I'd go see them live, I'm 18 years old, just going to see, but he would say, he goes, if we learn to pull our money together, all this division, and it's the truth, man. We're all we have, man.
And we're all we need.
Thank my man.
And we're all we need. That is real. Like the thing about Clarissa, the fact that we raised that money in Nigeria. Nigeria is rich beyond measure.
Thank you.
Like if we just went there where they value us. If these
$1 from each Nigerian?
Right.
No, and I'll tell you that because, like,
the
very first time I ever EP'd a movie was with my good friend, Nnamdi Asamoah.
Yeah.
And he did Sylvie's Love with Tessa Thompson.
Great film.
I saw Nnamdi in Soldier's Play.
Yeah, and Soldier's
David Allen Greer.
David Allen Greer.
Yeah.
I EP'd, that movie.
You EP'd that?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Eugene Ash directed that, right? Who was at the house.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it was, to me, it's just like to be able to invest in, and I didn't know that world. It can be very scary at high dollar amounts. But you go, hey, I believe in you. This guy, not only a friend, former teammate, but it's like, I believe in you. And you look at the movie and looking at the process, or if it's like his other movie, EP Knife, and going, but this is what it's supposed to be like. You know what I mean? It's like you're supposed to invest and create that system to where, he can feel comfortable going, hey, I can depend on you. Can I count on you? Can I count on you? And we're all in. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, to me,
we got to be inclusive. You got
Because it happens, but we just
you got to be inclusive.
We have to share more. Because I even keep that kind of information.
Because we are used to going, oh, I got it, pull up the ladder.
Right.
We have to include.
Right.
It's the same thing in the comedy and acting / people won't tell you about stuff.
I go back to the chitlins. Like, if you're getting some kind of sense of self from complaining about these people coming to take from you, for a moment, it feels good. You've scratched an itch of, and you have community around, these. But actually, what does that buy you? It doesn't buy you anything. You know, if there is, let's just entertain for a moment that these folks coming from the UK who are looking to tell these stories that are British, that are African, that are American. Let's just say they have something that them plus you equals one can only imagine. You know, when you look at Black Panther, it is Chadwick and it is Michael B, but it's also Daniel Kaluuya and Letitia Wright.
That's right.
That's what it looks like when it goes supernova. Ryan understands that. Ryan Coogler called me before he was about to make a Black Panther because he knew I had connection to the culture that he was about to show in his film. And he humbly asked advice because he needed me, I need him, Michael the same. Like I was with Michael the other day. Those of us who get it, we are sharing in the way that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck and George Clooney and Brad Pitt. You think that success is based on them being silos? Absolutely not. They are sharing secrets. They are sharing strategy. They are sharing films with each other, which is what I tried to do with Bass Reeves, bringing in people who are like, you don't know them, but I do. Now, if you are telling me that how dare I spend 10 years trying to get Bass Reeves made? How dare I bring Ava DuVernay to come in and direct Selma and get that film? If that's what you're saying, think about that for a moment. Just think about what may not exist if you don't have people who are, dare I say it, built different. Like Ava is built different. Coleman is built different. Ryan is built different. There are people, Idris Elba is built different in relation to actually getting stuff made. Now, if you're going to begrudge that, rather than go, let me reach out and figure out what are Nate and David doing over there, and how do we? What is this diaspora embracing notion that you guys are talking about, as opposed to me now beginning to internalize some kind of ridiculous what do they call ADOS or whatever?
That's
like
my foundational black.
But it proliferates.
Yeah, it does.
It proliferates. You look at what is happening with nationalism. You know, the rise of the Reform Party in the UK. You look at why we have some of the political circumstances we have here in America. It starts like this. It starts with people feeling empowered and gathering around negativity that gives them some kind of identity.
And the biggest threat to that, or the biggest field to that right now, is the algorithm.
Exactly.
Right? The algorithm is fueling it. It's fueling it.
And
it's doing it on so many different levels. I really want to sign off because it's happening in marriages. I know you've been married for a very long time, but I mean, there's just like, here we go. We're going to find your insecurity because it knows what you want. It's going to say, hey.
What? This would be, you know, it wouldn't be so much heat on them if they would just admit to say, you know what, it's a valid argument. I can understand why they feel this way. It from the outside looking in, it could look like this. Just acknowledge that there's some disparities or some inequalities, and then most people would let the argument go. But the more you double down and to kind of disregard and dismiss and overlook and back and over-explain and backtrack, they're not going to let the argument go. But okay, come on.
You don't like these people over here? Yeah, look at that, look at that. And it's just feeding it. And it is becoming...
That's why I bring it up. Thank you so much for saying that. That's why I bring it up, because I watched the Drewski thing and laughed, but there is a subculture where that now becomes fuel to build a narrative. So you now have the next generation of aspiring actors and artists internalizing that mindset, and then we're further fractured because they're being super served that narrative through the algorithm.
Right.
Wow. So not only they can't see what they've been seeing, so now you blame it on as a subculture that's been fed it. Wow. So how you just reduce the shit? Wow, that's insane. That's crazy.
And we're not going to win. We're not going to win that one.
I would love to. Where the Black Americans in Nollywood at? Oh, this is disgusting to listen to. This was disgusting. I'm so over the hell with Godfrey and whatever anything he stands for. I'm good. So let's go. Let's see what they say online. Let's see what they say online. Let's see what what people think about it in real time.
If you take the Nigerian accent like this and you slow it down, you put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start
You put a lot of slavery in it, and then this goofball talking about facts. Boy, y'all.
to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is what starts to happen
Yeah.
to the Nigerian accent.
Man.
It goes because literally, if you're down here and you start to speed it up, and then you start to take all the thing out of it, then before you know it, you're talking like this.
Now we are free again.
Now we are free.
Wow.
We are released.
Hey, that's a smooth transition.
You see that?
Damn.
You have to
Can you
study
try
it. You have to
No,
study it.
Oh, you usually
no.
I do a southern accent?
No, the way he just did that whole thing. Go ahead.
Clear your throat. You know when you
No. I gotta stay in my lane on that one.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I thought I'd let you guys know there is nothing that I like more than this podcast relationship with David Oyelowo. David Oyelowo, it was a movie called Newborn earlier this year. Nate Parker, fantastic movie. Great movie. And him and Nate Parker have massive studios together. I could wax poetic about but the reality is it would just be me trying to soften the blow. We can't do it like that, man.
Okay.
And I'll tell you.
I just love to know what he was thinking.
We can't do it like that, man.
Okay.
Do you think that he would have said that here? Because he's talking to two Africans.
Oh, come on, don't say it like that. Like,
Don't make it something that it's not. I'm asking a legitimate question here.
He's talking to two Africans. The way you said it.
I just wonder, because I paused because I was going to say Nigerian and I wasn't sure if both are, so that's why I said that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody was Nigerian.
Okay, so it was, I'm in a different space. And this is not to make excusing it, but it did make me wonder. I wonder if he would have said that to us if that conversation had come up, because we have talked to him about Black British actors taking roles of Black American actors, and we've done all that conversation, and he does talk about that as well. But I think that conversation again that he has on the podcast 154 Africa podcast, that conversation he has with them combined with this accent and saying he puts a little subservience to it is why we have the wars.
The diaspora wars.
Yeah, it's why we have the diaspora wars, because first off, when he talks about the British Black actors, American actors, he's like, listen, I'm not saying it's not a legitimate thing, but then he goes on to say, but we're missing the point of why there are such few roles. But when you do that, it's dismissive to, okay, so the few roles there are, why are you getting them? That's the question that's being asked. It's not for you to say, okay, that's cool, but look at the bigger picture. Sure, the bigger picture's there. There should be more opportunities for Black people to have roles in Hollywood, but there aren't. So why aren't Black Americans playing the roles of legendary, of historical Black Americans? Why does it seem to always go one way? That's the question that needs to be answered. So when you're dismissive of that conversation within this podcast, and then you add to it, oh, the way I do this accent, it's coming from Nigeria, but then I'm adding a little subservience to it, and that's how I get there. It's totally offensive to Black Americans, and it implies something about the language or the dialect or the accent of how Black Americans speak in this country. I'm just, David.
You assume, you're making the assumption that they have slave talk. It's like a person with a broken spirit that's been, the spirit of being broken has been passed down, and that's how you think they sound to you. Subservience? That's a very specific way of identifying somebody's linguistics. Subservient? Wow. It's like, if you really think about him using the very specific terms, like, wow, that's really how you see us. Wow.
It's tough.
It's tough.
So I'll say something
It's
to the Black
tough.
Americans
It's tough.
Black Brits have played just in the last X amount of years. Black Brits have played, just so we know, because I don't want people to think we're being petty. That's the last thing I want people to think we've been petty. Black Brits in the last, 10, 15 years have played Martin Luther King Jr., both Martin and Coretta, okay? Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, Harriet Tubman, Solomon Northup, obviously in 12 Years a Slave, and Fred Hampton.
Daniel Kaluuya. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, or if you think that's okay, there's no problem, there's nothing to see here, God bless you. Fred Hampton. You know they shoot that man's grave site every year. Okay, now let me. Yeah, this might go left. This might get personal for me. Okay, Fred Hampton's grave site is always shot up every fucking year. Every year. If you live in Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. You know how important Fred Hampton is to the Black Panthers in Chicago. Grave site. They shoot this man's grave site every year without fail. Every year, to the point where they had to put up a cage. To the point where they had to put up a cage around the damn grave site. So they would stop shooting the damn tombstone.
Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. for a long time, decades. I've known Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. for a long time, decades. I remember him, we first met when he got out of prison and he came to New York. I was in New York. We were doing some things together. You know what we do, how we do. And one year, I called him on the anniversary, December 4th, on the anniversary of the assassination of his father. And I said, yo, Chairman, what you doing today? You know, he said, you know, Mike, I'm doing what doing what I always got to do on December 4th. You know, I got to do what I got to do. I got to, guard and watch over, and be vigilant. So I'm like, I don't know what that means. What you mean? He said, you know, Mike, I got to do what I do. No. And he talking so fast, but he ain't, I don't really know exactly what he's saying. And then his mama, Akua, she broke it down. She said, on the anniversary of the day Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.'s father was assassinated, the police have a ritual where they go to his tombstone every December 4th and they shoot it up. We're not even allowed to rest in peace. That is fucked up.
And you want me to be okay with finally getting this character on screen, right? Because imagine what it took to get this character on screen. Hollywood, right? And then you want to put a Brit in you. What y'all gonna say? Well, Don Cheadle played Sam Biko. No. Not the same, y'all. Not the fucking same. Look at this shit. They had to put a cage on this motherfucker, dog.
Site gets shot up annually by police officers. What? Fred Hampton's grave site gets shot up annually by police officers. What? So many folks tell me that evil like this isn't able to be conducted by police officers. What? Fred Hampton was assassinated by the police when he was only 21 years old. Please tell me how a person who lived such a short life is so much of a threat to law enforcement. The evil J. Edgar Hoover and the Federal Bureau of Investigations created a program called COINTELPRO, otherwise known as the Counterintelligence Program, that sole purpose was to stop the rise of the Black Messiah, as he said Negro unity was the greatest threat to America. It's Black History Month, so if you don't know who Fred Hampton...
Okay, the point still stands. I don't want no Brit playing this man's character. Okay? This is what they do. This was the crime scene. He was in bed when they bust through, right? Yeah. This is where they gunned him down. And you want me to be okay with a non-American? They do this every year. Every year. Every fucking year. Yeah, it's part. This other part of the crime scene. I know. Could you imagine another Brit playing, I don't know, Noble Drew Ali? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled it. But okay, let me get back to that podcast. Get back to that podcast. You know, since heroes are not that important, right? But okay.
Fred Hampton. Okay. So
Bass Reeves.
Bass Reeves. That's another one. Malcolm X. Kingsley Ben-Adir played Malcolm X in One Night in Miami. So like, there's something that's happening.
Oh wait. They were going to have Thandie Newton played Nina Simone. Don't forget that. Or did she already play? Did that movie happen? Thandie Newton playing Nina Simone. Remember that? Let me pull that back real quick. Hold up. This over here. Thandie Newton. Right? Did the movie take place? Yeah. Okay. She did do that movie. Yeah. Yeah. She was cast to play Nina Simone. Did we forget? Did we forget? Oh, Zoe. Okay, my bad. Zoe Saldana. What does Heifer say? She said, the most important thing is that creativity or quality of performance should never be judged on the basis of color or ethnicity or physical likeness. Okay. I'm the kind of colored girl who looks like everything white people despise or have been taught to despise. Have you seen how... Okay. We're being told that Nina Simone's face bears no real import on the new eponymous movie about her life starring Zoe Saldana. Oh my God. There's no one way to be black. I'm black the way I know how to be. You have no idea who I am. I am black. I'm raising black men. Don't you ever think you can... I can't with this bitch. I can't. If it's okay with y'all, then this looks terrible. Yeah, she married to a white man or a Spaniard. I think he's a Spaniard. Even worse. Yeah, I believe she's married to a Spaniard. I don't give a damn. But y'all got it, man. This is what the woman looked like. They don't even want you to be as dark as you used to. You know what I'm saying? They always want to lighten you up. Like, what are we talking about? Okay, let's get back to it. Let's get back to this.
Happening here that, like, I think, you know, when Samuel L. Jackson was talking about this, he was talking about Daniel Kaluuya playing a black American guy in Get Out. That's gonna happen, guys. Like, if we're talking about roles for black people, there are less roles for black Brits. Most of the time you see Daniel Kaluuya on screen. Most of the time you see Damson Idris on screen. Most of the time you see them on screen, they're gonna be playing black Americans.
Okay, let's get to Damson Idris. You mean to tell me Damson Idris was the best person to play Franklin Saint? This man had to take urban class. Damson Idris speaking class for Snowfall. This is what we're talking about. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Wow. Are you taking it all in? Well, you're from England. Do you still live in England?
Yeah, I still live in, I grew up in Peckham, southeast London.
Okay.
And now I live in a place called Elephant Castle. Yeah.
Elephant Castle?
Yeah.
If you're from LA, he did not sound like an LA guy. You know LA when you hear LA.
Really?
Elephant Castle. It's literally a place with one big, horrible shopping center.
For real?
Yeah. So imagine...
You just walk down a block. Yeah. Call it here. But it's amazing the accent that you do on the show because you really seem like you're an American.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's, well...
Everybody from LA would tell you that's not no LA accent that he had in Snowfall. Stop playing with me, man. That's not even a California accent. Even though, you know, it's vast and sparse, but you know a Californian when you hear him speak.
That was the object, I guess. That was your intention. How did you do that so well?
Wow. So I have a dialect coach. His name's Dub C.
Okay.
Now, I'm not mad at Dub C. Get your check. But Dub C, a dialect coach. Have you heard Dub C talk? Have you heard Dub C talk? Did Dameson Idris sound anything close to Dub C? Okay.
He's from West Side Connection. He raps with...
Oh, the rapper. Okay.
Hold on, A-Club. You know what? I got you. I'll open the lines. I'll open the line up for you. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Cool. Text now. Okay, the number. All right, Club, there's the number. The curly wig offended me. I mean, it was supposed to be the 80s though, but man, listen, that man's accent sounded nothing close to no LA cat. LA cat to tell you that was not an LA accent. That was not an LA accent.
Okay.
Yeah, real OG.
Okay.
And it was amazing.
That's your dialect coach?
I know, right? So you could understand I was petrified all the time. So I was staying downtown where they put me, and he called me up, and he was like, yeah, what's up? It's Dub C. Yeah, I'm gonna be your dialect coach. They wanna call me a damn dialect coach. Anyway, I'm downstairs. This is me. What? He's like, yeah, come downstairs. I'm like, how do you know where I live? He's like, don't worry about it, homie. Ain't nothing but a G thing. Click. Oh my gosh, there's a gangster waiting for me downstairs. So I get down there.
Oh, you did go down, okay.
Yeah, I went down there.
Next time, don't go down. Yeah.
So I get there, and he's like got a real blacked out car and stuff, and he's like, what's up, little homie? Jump in, we rolling.
Club, what's good, bruh?
Nothing much, Fly. Salute to you and everyone in the chat. Man, I don't know where to start, but I'll just go for it.
Okay.
I agree and understand people's positions in the chat. Having some of your most iconic figures performed by fellow blacks. But the main thing that people love to omit, and it's getting annoying at this point, is where's the smoke and static for the studios, for the casting directors, or even stronger pushback from those families respectively? Like, for example, the Nina Simone biopic. Yes, her daughter condemned the movie in a cheap, nonchalant way, but with her in the family, that's because I'm not sure if anyone remembers this, the Jimi Hendrix biopic.
I remember.
That biopic never got made because the family kept shutting certain things down.
Yeah.
And same with the Marvin Gaye too. So if people are going to get mad about their figures getting inspired and things like that, then respectfully, you're going to have a little bit more protection. You're going to have to fight and defend these things. Because don't get me wrong, for the record, I'm not a big fan of Sudanese Nigerians. I've had my clashes with them as a Nigerian myself. But if they get offered the role, they're going to give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest here. Yes, it's all about the culture and shit like that, but then again, as you said in the past, Sly, blacks haven't been the greatest with gatekeeping culture.
I agree.
Because again, a lot of people can get offended by the Oluwayes, the Okoyes, and all that other stuff taking these roles. But y'all, no disrespect, but they've been let in by somebody. I always keep asking the question. Y'all get mad about whites entering hip hop culture. Y'all get mad about outsiders entering country and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my pushback to all you people who cry and bitch about the damn culture is, who let them in?
Yeah.
There's always someone, your own, that let these people in.
You're right. You're right.
And that's my problem with Arthur. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's probably the most disheartening part, is that I think black folk realize how truly powerless they are, and it's frustration. So you just go with the easy target. The easiest target is the actors that take the roles. That's fair. I'll agree to that all day. We don't have power to punish the studios to the degree where, to make them bump their head and say, "Oh, we won't do that again." So yeah, I mean, you would have to literally boycott the studios and make life hell for the casting directors, but we don't do it. We can't do that as a collective, and that's the most frustrating part. And like I said, a lot of the argument is fair. The targets may be unfair or just easy targets, but like I said, that's frustration, and you're gonna go with the easiest target. So because you can't hurt the casting directors, you really can't hurt the studios to that degree. I guess the only thing one could really do is just not go see these movies with these actors cast in it.
And I agree with that. And I technically meant for some of this to be kept for a live stream soon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's save it. Yes, let's save it. Yes.
Yeah, but I'll just say this, and then I'll let you continue with the show. As someone who comes from Nigerian parents, but has been born and raised in America, I understand the elements of the FBA, the Tether, the ADOS argument, having those separate blueprints. The main thing that I genuinely dislike is having an argument for an illusion of superiority, because at the end of the day, other races and other groups view everyone as one, and a little bit and at the bottom. But I just had to get that a little bit out there and give a little bit of pushback to the argument. But I feel for blacks that get rejected. That's because I would rather have Fred Hampton performed by an actual black person as opposed to an African cosplaying as a Fred Hampton, right, or a Harriet Tubman or Whitney Houston. So
that's what's up.
But thank you so much for letting me on, Fly. I'm gonna let you go. Oh,
hey, we still good for Saturday, right? Did we say Saturday?
Yes, we're still good.
Okay, for sure. Looking forward to it.
Not a problem. Peace with everyone in the chat.
Okay, bro. Right on. Club Fortune. Right on.
I'm like, okay, my South Central for Dummies booklet says we rolling means drive by. Okay. So I get in the car, and thank God it wasn't a drive-by. We're driving out Crenshaw, and he takes me to this restaurant called Popeyes.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Popeyes?
And I've never been to Popeyes before.
Do you know Popeye the cartoon character?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't even know Popeye, huh?
I didn't know anything. I didn't know if we were gonna eat pasta, chicken. I had no idea.
It's chicken. Yeah.
So that would.
Okay, let me get back to this. Okay, let's go.
Like, they will be. You'll see them on screen playing Black Americans a lot. Like, you're gonna see that, okay? Because the industry they're in is in Hollywood, and Hollywood is normally writing stories about Black Americans when you're talking about that. So that is what it is. How the influx of them could be for a lot of reasons. We don't ever talk about, we talk about that, British guys or British ladies are better actors than us because they take the stage more serious, right? Well, there's also a culture that is centered around that. There's a culture of theater acting that exists in those places that's not quite as robust here, right? You have to go on the stage there. I know a lot of people that are doing stuff on the stage right now.
Yeah, they are.
But you have to go over on the stage there. Maybe we should talk about, if we think that there's some kind of quality difference, and I'm not saying that there is, about how we have a robust theater, stage acting culture over here for young black actors. We should do more of that. Maybe we should talk, all kinds of conversations you can have. But one conversation that you're going to have here is about the fact that we both know ourselves enough to play these particular parts. And then there's also something else. Us playing these parts is legitimately giving reverence to our ancestors. Our ancestors. Our ancestors. Our ancestors. And there's a whole diaspora. And so many people that are involved in what has happened here for black people have been from other places, man. There's been so many people from the West Indies. I could name them all. There's been so many people from other places that have been involved in that. It's very true. It's absolutely true. Without a doubt that that's true, that there's lineage all over the place in this. But when we're talking about us, we're talking about our ancestors and things that happen here. And we also want to be energetically and spiritually a part of the upliftment of our ancestors. And we want to make sure everybody can tell the stories of their ancestors as well. I mean, this is understood.
Yeah. Orlando Anderson playing Anansi the spider does not count. Don't do that. I know someone's looking right now. Orlando Anderson playing Anansi the spider in American Gods does not count. Let's not do this. But let's continue.
They would not want an American person playing James Bond. That's a fictional character. But that story is steeped in Brit shit. So they don't want Timothée Chalamet to be James Bond. They want to find the next young British actor because they want that story to be culturally true. Now, we have shared aspects of our culture, but they're not all shared. They're not. And that diversity is also beautiful. It's not just the diversity between white, black, Asian, or whatever is diversity. Diasporic diversity is also beautiful. That's beautiful as well. We're not all of the same, which means there are some things for you.
And let's go to the Asians. I've seen plenty of Asians complain about Koreans playing Japanese historical figures, and I've seen Chinese people complain about Koreans playing Chinese figures. Listen, everybody's having these arguments. Ours seems to be the loudest at this point. Every ethnicity group is having these little mini dust-ups in Hollywood about who's portraying their heroes. It's just not us. It's just our conversation. It seems it has a little bit more bite to it for whatever reason.
You that are not for me. We can share them, but the ownership is different. And that's okay. As far as the Nigerian accent into slavery thing, I'm just going to give one piece of advice. And it should be easy. One piece of advice. Do not ever
do that shit again.
If you are African or outside of being a black American, say or do anything that even allows people to perceive that you're calling us slaves or that you are somehow setting a hierarchy
100%
between black people and Africans. We're not there yet to be able to explore that. So if you say, hey, if I just inject a little subservience into my voice, it sounds like this. Now, to be fair, he was talking about not black people. He was specifically talking about slaves. It gets wacky to me, though, when he goes, the more Nigerian we feel, the more free we are. We're not to that point yet. We're not to that point yet. We're not there. Your point is brilliant. I don't think he would have had that conversation here because I think that entire conversation plays upon a latent fear that we have that this is the way they talk when we're not around.
Yeah. No, 100%. He got comfortable.
Yeah. But look, I'm gonna say this, and y'all hate it when I do this. David Oyelowo is one of the good guys. He is, man. David Oyelowo is working and being there for young black actors, no matter where they came. He's one of the good guys. This is a weird fuck up.
It's the word. Subservience. Add a little subservience. They were slaves.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I would love for him.
Aren't they now calling slaves indentured servants in these kids' history books now? I know Texas has made some changes to it. Parts of California, right? They're now calling black slaves indentured servants. So if you don't start saying something now, next thing you know, you're going to be reading your kids' or grandkids' history books, and they're going to be indentured servants. Since when? And there's going to be indentured servant history and not black history. You be careful.
And then, David, you come on here. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
So why did you choose? What were we thinking?
Well, subservience is what a slave would be.
I know, but it's
just weird. It's weird. We don't want to know the process
It's
of how
not
you went from
weird.
Nigeria to
It's
slave.
not weird. It's wrong.
It
And
is
that's
wrong.
why people
It's
are.
disrespectful.
And that's why and that's why people are upset. And you using the word hierarchy is so key because you literally started up here, like hand motion, everything in the way you talk. And by the time you got to doing a Southern Black American accent, that's what it was. It wasn't just like you were down here like this talking.
Yeah.
I want to go back and watch it.
And there's just not enough trust. That we like as a Black man from here, I don't trust that the rest of the world don't look at us as the dregs of society. That's not the way that they feel. The way I feel, and this might be fucked up, the way I feel is there is nothing better in the world than a Black American costume.
Okay.
And there's nothing more powerful in the world than being able to take that costume off when you don't need it no more. And that's just how I feel. Like, I gotta have hip hop conversations and conversations about dress and all of this stuff by people that's not from there. And then when we go to do their shit, they tell me what the fuck I can't do. It just seems like the Black American costume is very, very, very important. But just as important is the ability to take that bitch off.
Okay. I like them. So let's see what they say in the comments. As an African Nigerian centered podcast show, why are the topics of their show always about Black Americans, our history, inventions, celebrities, and current events? Black British actors should be fighting for equality in the British entertainment industry. After the Sinners controversy, we see how the British entertainment industry treats its Black entertainers. Yeah, referring to the BAFTA Awards. You had that British man with Tourette's talk, say the N-word and couldn't nobody tell him nothing. Okay. The problem with Black British actors taking roles away from Black Americans is they are willing to accept low pay and poor treatment. Yeah, because they're not under SAG. A lot of them are not SAG with the union. They aren't fighting equality in either system. The crux of the problem is these actors want to split the spoils but don't want to roll up their sleeves and help fight for equality. It's a parasitic relationship. Black Brits put in zero sweat equity to create the opportunity that exists for Black actors in Hollywood. It's a no for me. Okay. It is not insecure to want to see ourselves and our icons depicted authentically. This man did not fit the role of MLK or Bass Reeves, and he should be able to receive that feedback like an adult. Japanese actors aren't taking over Korean films. This is so dishonest.